Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Boris Johnson and Brussels have history together, and it doesn't point to a happy conclusion. As a young reporter based in the city, Johnson specialised in sometimes fabricated front-page stories belittling European bureaucracy. His editor at the time describes Johnson's willingness to tell any audience whatever he thinks most likely to please, heedless of the inevitability of its contradiction an hour later. So might Johnson's declarations on Brexit similarly be promises made to win over his party without the substance or detail to back them up?
And on Brexit?
And on Brexit, we will of course be pushing our plan into action.
So we understand.
And getting ready to come out on October the
31st.
31st, correct.
Come what may.
Come what may.
Do or die?
Come what may. Do or die. Come what may.
Guto Hari was head of communications under Boris Johnson when he was Mayor of London.
Boris Johnson's time at City Hall showed that he's more than capable of doing detail. He doesn't drown in it. He doesn't allow officials to come up with excuses for not doing things, which is why he delivered almost everything he promised as mayor. And if he was to be that bulldozer, if you like, refusing to take no for an answer in number 10, then he could be a successful Prime Minister.
As mayor for 8 years, Johnson was a flamboyant salesman for the city, with a self-effacing charm that endeared him to many. But the challenge of Downing Street will far outweigh City Hall.
On both sides, people are not altogether convinced that he is as sincere about this as he has been in other things. But we're about to find out. And frankly, the way he's now been selected within the Conservative Party, he's got very little room for manoeuvre. So however this journey started, he is now the leader of the Brexit Party in all but name. And that's what he has to deliver, or it'll all be over very, very quickly.
Boris Johnson famously prepared 2 newspaper columns favouring both Leave and Remain before opting to support the Leave campaign ahead of the 2016 referendum. Some wonder now whether he'll be persuaded to opt for a soft Brexit compromise once the realities facing his hard Brexit promises become clear.
I think he faces a huge challenge. I mean, any path he takes faces huge constraints in terms of both what the EU will agree to and what Parliament will agree to. And he might say that he's going to leave the EU on the 31st of October, do or die. But fundamentally, that is not an issue entirely in his gift. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if behind the scenes, his team are preparing for a possible general election in the autumn, because it might all go wrong.
Supporters compared Johnson to Winston Churchill, a crisis leader. The EU won't call his bluff, they suggest, because no one knows what he might do next.
Stop Brexit!
But the resistance is strong.
He has absolutely no chance of getting his Brexit through on October 31st. Yes, he did say do or die, so on November the 1st, he'll be falling on his sword.
Johnson has reached the pinnacle of power in British politics. Wielding it won't be easy. Jonah, Al Jazeera, London.